let's not prolong the vertigo and let's get right on it. Here are 25 of the most dangerous selfies ever taken. Number 25. On the roof. On this roof is a couple of daredevils whose sole mission in life is to scale the highest man-made objects in the world and take selfies. Vitaly Raskolov and Vadman Makhorov travel all over the world just to climb buildings and take selfies. The photo you're seeing right now is the couple taking a selfie on the highest point of Shenzhen Center in China. Of course, they are doing this illegally. Check out their website, ontheroofs.com, to see more of the pair's exploits. Number 24. Dude, there's a train behind you. Parking your car in the middle of a train track is not a good idea. Parking your car in the middle of a train track while there's an approaching train is an even worse idea. Parking your car in the middle of a train track when there's a train coming, then you exit your vehicle and take a selfie, probably the worst idea anyone has ever thought of. But hey, the selfie's quite good, so risking your life was worth it, was it? Number 23. Speaking of trains, didn't your mom ever tell you to never stand too close to the train tracks, especially when there's a train coming? Apparently, this guy in the photo's mom probably forgot to tell him that. Jared Michael thought it would be a good idea to take a selfie while a train was passing behind him. Unfortunately for him, he stood a little too close to the tracks. The boot that you see here hitting Jared's face was the conductor's. After the accident, Jared admitted that it was a stupid idea. Number 22. Couple goals. Angela Nicolau and her boyfriend are a very unique couple. In some aspects, they're just like any other couple out there. They enjoy hanging out together, watching movies, the occasional fancy dinner, etc., etc. But what makes them unique is the fact that they're quite the daredevils. What you're seeing is a selfie that they took while sitting on top of the highest crane in Hong Kong, bringing no climbing gear at all. They did bring the most essential tool of all with them, which is, obviously, the selfie stick. Number 21. Shark Fies. Swimming with sharks is dangerous. However, leave it to this guy to take it up a notch by having selfies with them as well. Avid scuba diver and professional photographer Aaron Gigotsky went on a dive trip to swim with oceanic black-tip sharks. Not the most ferocious of all sharks, but still quite dangerous, if you annoy them. It's a good thing that these sharks don't mind selfies, as Aaron sure took a lot of them. Number 20. Alexander Remnev. Alexander Remnev is a 19-year-old guy from Moscow. He's been climbing on the rooftop since the tender age of 14. The photographer traveled to Hong Kong, Paris, Barcelona, and Dubai, just to find tall buildings and make his way up to the roofs of these skyscrapers. Here you see him taking a photo with a couple of his friends on top of the Center, a 364-meter-high skyscraper, which is the 5th tallest building in Hong Kong. Number 19. Watch the wind. When in San Francisco, California, you take duck lip selfies on top of buildings, obviously. At least, that's what Benjamin Wong did. He's eerily close to the edge as he stands on top of the building and takes a classic selfie with the city views in the background. We don't want to think about what would have happened if it was a really windy day or if he lost his balance a bit. Yikes, that would not be a good fall. Number 18. Slip and it's over. This seems even more dangerous because it's snowy and likely very cold and icy when he climbed up here. Joe Gal is also known to do this on more than one occasion because, well, like the rest, he's a little bit crazy. How he's managing to take this photo with a DSLR camera and his other hand extended, all while balancing on a weird triangular pointed rooftop is beyond us. We must say the view of all the lights in the distance is pretty, but can't you just use a drone for that? Number 17. The rooftops of Austria. It's an unwritten rule when climbing onto a very steep roof. You must take a selfie. Okay, maybe not. But Benjamin Wong sure did, though. What makes this shot even more perilous is that his body is completely turning away to look at the view. Okay, we all know that Austria's landscapes are breathtaking, but maybe could you find a safer, more stable place to check out the views? Like on the ground, perhaps? Just a thought. But all jokes aside, the sky, mountains, and vast fields of lush greenery make for some awesome scenery. Number 16. Looking down on Brooklyn. Victor Thomas is the culprit behind this awesomely epic selfie that is showing Brooklyn from way up high. Like most of the others on this list, he has a big following and is always pushing the boundaries of what he does next. This New York selfie shows all the buildings and lights of the bustling city below, making it a magical photograph with lots going on. It also gives us a completely new perspective in what it might feel like to look down on Brooklyn without having to climb up there ourselves. But then again, no matter how awesome the view is, he is still risking his life every time he sits on the edge of a tall building. Number 15. South Bridge. Just looking at this one makes us feel extremely dizzy. These two may just be the craziest yet. While the girl lays on the top platform of the bridge, the guy is standing on top of it to get the most dramatic shot yet. The railing he's standing on is not even as wide as his feet are. Death-defying photographer Vadman Makarov likes scaling some of the tallest skyscrapers in parts of Russia. While he's at it, he captures some of the most breathtaking aerial landscapes of the tall structures he scales. This picture is taken atop of the South Bridge in Kiev, overlooking the traffic as well as the deep blue sea. Number 14. The Russian Spider-Man. Daredevil Kirill Orekishin first started scaling buildings as a hobby back in 2008. Since then, he has captured plenty of vertigo-inducing photographs while atop some of Russia's tallest structures and earned the nickname Russian Spider-Man for himself. While this is an amazing view of Moscow, I'm not sure how he does it with a straight face like that. The thrill seeker often climbs crazy landmarks and then posts the photos on his IG account. He has quite the following, and that seems to only grow more and more with all the insane photos he posts, which is probably what motivates these people to keep pushing the boundaries and tackling new structures. Number 13. Hang in there! If you couldn't manage to trust fall back in school, this picture would put you to shame. This daredevil takes trust to another level. I don't dare imagine what will happen if his friend decides to go weak in any of his limbs. This terrifying photo is the brainchild of one of Mustang Wanted, known as the world's most notorious rooftopper, as he pulled all the craziest stunts and actually invited UK rooftopper James Kingston to fly to the Ukraine to first do the stunt with him. Number 12. High above the clouds. Here's another photo of On the Roofs, and this time I think it's pretty safe to say that they outdid themselves. The pair is now sitting on top of the Shanghai Financial Tower, which stands 490 meters high, not including the antenna. In fact, the two are sitting just shy of 600 meters above the ground. You might be asking, what's with all the fog? Well, the horrifying truth is, that's not fog. They're actually clouds. Number 11. It's getting hot in here. There are only a few places on Earth more dangerous than the crater of an active volcano. Just imagine this. This is one place that literally kills you in more ways than one. First, you can fall into the molten lava. Second, you could accidentally inhale the toxic gases that are always present in this place. Third, you can succumb to heat stroke. So, the general rule is, stay away from places like this. But not if you're George Coronis. In his mind, this is the perfect place for a selfie. Number 10. Watch out! Never turn your back from a live sports game, especially baseball. And reporter Kelly Nash can tell you how true this statement is. Here she is, innocently taking a selfie when a baseball whizzed by, narrowly missing her head by inches. Consider her lucky because if the ball hit her, she could have faced serious injury. Number 9. Running with bulls. There is always a time and a place to take selfies, and this is definitely not one of them. Running with bulls is already an insane thing to do, but why make it more dangerous by taking a selfie like what this guy's doing here? Come to think of it, maybe he's using his phone like a rear view mirror? Number 8. Bear fees. Taking selfies with cute animals, I perfectly understand. But this? Earlier we've seen a man taking selfies with a shark. Now we've seen someone take a selfie with a black bear, one of the most dangerous animals in the world. I guess he felt he was safe. The bear was quite far from him. But remember, bears can charge with bursts of speed, so the danger is still there. Perhaps this guy didn't know about that fact. In any case, the only selfie I'll be taking with a bear will be at a zoo, where I know I'll be safe. Number 7. What is he standing on? This high-risk selfie really puzzled me. Initially because it's really hard to pin down the source of this photo. But then I looked at the photo more closely, and then I suddenly realized what I was looking at. The guy's standing on thin air. So his left hand is dangling on his side. There's nothing but the pavement hundreds of meters below him. So it's probably safe to assume that he's dangling off of something using only his right arm. Why would someone do such a thing? That is completely insane. Number 6. Look before you leap. You know how the old adage goes, look before you leap. Why? Obviously so you'll know where exactly you'll land. But the girl in this extreme selfie lives her life by a different adage. Jump now, ask questions later. You see her jumping off a cliff, selfie stick in hand, trying, but failing, to look towards the camera while plummeting to the water down below. I mean, I hope she did land in the water. Taking risks like this to take the perfect shot might be worth it to some, but putting yourself in danger and the result is an unflattering photo like this sure isn't worth it. Number 5. Selfie with Jesus. Like others on this list, this is a very dangerous selfie to take, but quite unlike the others on this list, this guy had permission to take this epic selfie. Lee Thompson, founder of the British adventure travel company, The Flashpack, convinced the Brazilian tourist board to let him climb the world's recognized landmark, the Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro. It took Thompson, who was helped by a small team, almost 30 minutes to reach the summit of the 124-foot-high statue. Number 4. Look, Ma, no hands. Now we're getting into the really dangerous territory here. Who you're seeing is Daniel Lau, a Chinese daredevil who currently has more than 100,000 followers on Instagram, mainly due to stunts like these. Although it's not mentioned where exactly this photo was taken, it's definitely somewhere in Shenzhen, China. But that mystery is not what's amazing about this photo. Look closely. It doesn't seem like he's holding on to anything. Number 3. Watch where you're going. Taking a break from all the high altitude shenanigans that mostly comprise this list, we now move on to something, although closer to the ground, is just as dangerous. Never ever use your hand to hold your phone while driving. It's not only quite dangerous, it's also illegal. Alex Lepenyuk, though it was okay, since he was off-road while taking this photo. Unfortunately, he got distracted too much taking a selfie that he plowed head-on into the car in front of him. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Now it's time for today's best pick, which features a Chinese daredevil that brings home the fact that these photos may look amazing, the danger in taking them is quite real. Number 2. Just chillin'. Not really a place to relax, but Wu Yongning from China seems to think so. He became famous for posting video coverage of this crazy high-altitude stunt, like what you're seeing in this still capture from one of his videos. Unfortunately, he met his ultimate demise by doing one of these stunts back in 2017, which is not this photo though.
I saved the best for last, but first, I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. If you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just try it, it really works.
Number 1. Space selfie. No place on Earth is more dangerous than outer space. So what do astronauts do when they go out for a dangerous spacewalk? Take a selfie, of course. At least, that's what you're going to do if you're astronaut Aki Hashide. Look, he even used a space camera that perfectly matches his spacesuit. Which perilous selfie would you be willing to take? Let us know in the video description below.